Well, hello everyone. Welcome to our week 4. I can't believe it's already week 4 of 13-week success. And like we tell you every time, we're recording these so you can go back and read these, read and watch, and we'll send you the PowerPoints too on our executive page so you can change them to whatever you wish so they meet you and your team. It's just tools for you to help your new leader as well as if you're a new leader be successful. Okay, Dawn and I are going to go over some of our week 4 tasks that'll be good for you to really get your business, kickstart your business. The first thing we want you to do is, once again, is to plan your weekly team meeting. So if you can meet live, that's great, but you remember you have Zoom that you could use. So each week, go ahead and make sure that when you're going over the calendars that you have this every week at the same time if possible, and have your meeting with your teams. I don't care if it's 1, 2 people, no matter how small your team is, make sure you're hosting some kind of meeting each week to connect with your team.
And you want to track your team's progress. And, she's talking about the Zoom meetings. I don't know if you've got a Zoom account or not, but I just want to add into you here that you can purchase a Zoom account monthly that gives you unlimited access as long as you want to talk on a meeting. But Zoom also has a free part there that, as long as the meeting is less than, I want to say 39 minutes or something like that, it'll tell you. As long as it's under that, it's free. So if you wanted to have short meetings with your team via Zoom, you can do that free by accessing that. Okay, so just want to tell you that's an inexpensive way to connect with your team and track their progress and talk to them about how they're doing.
Good point. And this is what we're using now. It's a Zoom, and you can record it. So even if you don't have a paid account, we have a paid account because sometimes Dawn and I might talk longer. So you can record it, and then your team members who can't come at the time, you could use it for them as well. The other things we want you to do is set up a team page, group page on your Facebook. You want to have one that is your team page, and you want to have one that is your customer VIP. And we're going to show you some steps in a few minutes how to do that. But having the team page is great recognition, sharing on that, sharing videos. It's just your communication. And you may want to have that private. It's totally up to you. And your VIP group is for your customers. And so when you have a brand new representative, you want to encourage them to do that too, to say, let's go ahead and set up your VIP group on Facebook. And I'm going to go over some reasons why in a few minutes that you want to do that.
Make sure that all of your team members, especially your brand new team members, when they come in, they're having a grand opening to their business. To kick it off, whether it's online or live, they want to present to their customers. They are having a grand opening of their brand new business and have that excitement and that enthusiasm to build their business, whether it's their sales or adding new team members. A grand opening is a great way to go.
Well, and this next one, as I kind of already said with the first one, is help your team members set up their groups. So really the first thing I meant was you make sure, if you don't have one already, that you create your groups, and then you want to help your team create their groups. As soon as they've got enrolled, even before their kit gets started, you want to help them have those 2 groups as well.
Then I want to ask you, okay, we've been doing this is week 4 now. From the last 3 weeks, who is your superstar? We've been asking you each week, add 1 new person to your team, add 1 new person to your team. How are those people doing? Who is your rock star? Who is shining? Which one that are you really working with? So you want to have that one-on-one calls and contact with the new people you're bringing on, and help connect their vision to their planning, so that you're helping to get them in the direction that they want to go. Okay, if they're your shining superstar, if they're local, take them out to lunch to recognize them for that. And then while you're out, show them how to speak to the waitress, speak to some other people. You kind of use it as a training example. But if they're not close by, send them a little gift in the mail, just to say, hey, I'm excited for you. You're doing great. And it will mean so much to get that acknowledgement. We all want to hear that we're doing a good job.
And by now, so if you're just watching this, this may be your 4th week brand new into the business. So you want to have had your 4th your fourth team member added to your team. And hopefully you have more. Those of you who are restarting or been with leadership within this time frame, you wanted to try to add at least a new team member every single week. And don't worry, sometimes you might have a week or two that you have, sometimes people call it the slump. But you know what, you're going to have weeks everybody's not going to be joining, but you may be building your contacts and you may be building those seeds, and it'll come as long as you're being very consistent. So don't beat yourself up if you don't have that fourth team member or you're not meeting that goal. Just have a goal every day that I'm going to talk to this many people. So by the end of the week, I'm going to have a brand new team member. So just don't worry about it. You're going to have more, and it will come. Just be very consistent, and it's going to come.
So we asked you about having a product focus last time. So now we're asking you to think of a second product focus, whether it's live, online, in person. Have a product focus that you're talking to folks about. There's always offer the business opportunity, but have some teaching moments, because the more your customers learn about how to use your products, the more they're going to buy of your products. And that product focus is you planting seeds. You're giving that suggestion. And, it's all about, when you're farming, you get your ground going, and your brochures and your samples, and those are your seeds. But you know what? If you don't bend over and put them in the ground and do something with them, doesn't help. So the product focus helps give you a reason to get out there and be talking about your items and your brochures.
And then on your calendar, so we talk a whole lot about calendars through these last few weeks. You want to have on the calendar, always put like a power hour. You can call it whatever you want. I've seen some people call it the sunshine call, whatever you want to call them. But that is a focus of, if you're going to be big into leadership, you want to have a big hour that you set aside. Every day is really best. If not, a few times, those of you are part-time, you can probably set aside 30 minutes here, 30 minutes there, and really talk to, who you're going to call on there at times. So on your calendar, on my hour, I'm going to call the leaders who just started. I'm going to call a customer. I'm going to remind people that I have my open house or I have an opportunity meeting. Whatever that is, you're going to have an hour that you're going to set aside, quiet time, that you're going to do all these following ups. And you want to make sure that you have these on your calendar. So that keeps you very organized, and that's how you're going to run your business.
And then we want to remind you to add your contacts to your list and track it however you want to. But as you're giving out a brochure, always make sure you get the name, their phone number, and their email, so that you can go into your web office and list that person as a customer. Whether you're talking to them about joining Avon or buying Avon, you want to get them in the system so they're constantly starting to get the ads that Avon sends out, those little prompts, because you never know. Maybe they didn't see anything that 1 minute, but 6 weeks down the road, they get a commercial through your email and go, wow, and they're in and they're starting or they're purchasing. But have some way of tracking your customers, whether it's a binder, a recipe box that you keep them on, keep a way of tracking your customers. And one thing that Avon has online that you can track, it is a customer log, where you can list all your customers, and as you're calling them, you can put notes there, and it helps you track every campaign the whole year long. Did they order from you? Did you give them a book? It's just a great resource to do some of the remembering for you, so you don't have to try to remember everything all the time. Okay, we talk about having your team meeting, and it is so important to get your team engaged and going with you as many things as you can be with them as possible. So you want to share their progress, do recognition, tell them what's the next step, okay? Teach them about group pages. Tina's getting ready to show you how to do that. Share challenges with them on those group pages, keep them involved. That might be where you talk to them about the product that you're going to feature this week. And maybe it's a challenge to have a product of the campaign or a product of the week that they then repost out to their customers. Your team meetings give them the focus. And whether you have them once a campaign or once a month, you're saying, this is where you are now. This is what I want you to focus on for the next, the next time. Okay. Look at their calendars, talk to them about their calendar management. Okay. Because if they fail to plan, they're planning to fail, and you're helping them with guided success. So you want to ask them, do they have their events planned out? Do they have a walk and talk? Do they have an open house scheduled? Are they, meeting with their own teams? Are they setting up their own team events, or are they having their team come to your events as they build their business? Okay, so again, some coaching, your product focus. Talk about maybe doing Avon parties, how to do that. These are all things that you can do just to keep your team engaged, because when they are working with you, they just get stronger and stronger all of the time.
Okay, now I'm just going to walk through some steps. You have to practice those. So if you're not really good at Facebook, if you're just starting out, these are just really some simple steps to do. And those of you who are, this just kind of gives you a screenshot that you can use, and you're welcome to take this and put your own up. I just snapshot one of mine on my Facebook to show you how that works. So it's really simple. So as you've got a brand new team member, this is something that you want to walk through them. And if you don't, let's go ahead and make sure that you have those. So you're going to go to your Facebook homepage, and then down you'll see where it says more. If you click that down, it's going to give you different options. You'll go down groups and then create groups. You're going to name your group. So you may want to go ahead and think about, what do I want my group page to be? I think Kelsey is something about Team Inspire, mine's Team Inspire. Kelsey's is Team Ambition or something like that. But whatever it will be, have a name already set out that you're going to have. So then you'll name your group, and you'll invite people. You got to start inviting people. So who do you want to join your group and be your customers? Or if they're a leader, if those are your team leaders, remember you're going to have two. One's going to be for your group page, for just your team. Remember, if it's only one, it's fine. And the other will be customers. So all the people, I'll tell you what I would do. I would just click everybody and say, hey, I added you. If they're friends, hopefully they would stay on there, and they can take themselves out of the group. And this way too, you can ask them to send people to your group too. That's how you can have it grow. Then you want to make sure how do you want to have it? Do you want it private? It'll give you the options to make it private or public. For your team page, you may want to make it private, but for your customer page, you want to make it public so that they can add people to that group. And on this page, this is where you're going to post different things. So a lot of people say, well, what am I going to post on this? Well, if you're a brand new representative, have them set that up, and they could go ahead and put on there, tell them a line or something to put. I'm so excited. This is Barbara. I just started my online business, and, here's my web store. And then you can say something about, shop my web store. Here's an appreciation code called Welcome 10, and they get 10% off. And you can just post things like that. It doesn't have to be anything on there, but you want to go ahead and help your representative post a few things. Don't leave it up to them. That way they can invite people, because if they're brand new, they're intimidated. You can even put the line, you can even say it on there for them. Welcome your person, say please help support them in their new business. So you help set that up, and that's really their grand opening. That's all they really have to do if that's what they want. But on this page, they can start adding things every campaign. This is the focus products. But if you do this, you're going to see their sales will grow, and they feel less intimidated if you help walk them through that. So that is the group page. Then even if they don't have anybody yet, go ahead and help them create their VIP, not VIP, but their team page. Help them walk through, tell them they can go back and change the name. They don't have to worry about it. But go ahead and say, hey, who's going to be this is an opportunity to say, who's going to be your first business partner? Let's go ahead and add them to that page. And that way, that gives you an opportunity to talk to that first person on their team and say, hey, Barbara told me all about you and said you would be the first business partner she would love to have on her group. So I added you to that. I'd love to talk to you. So you lead, you're the leader, so you lead. Help your person lead to their first business partner. Don't leave it up to them because it's too intimidated. But by creating these two groups, you really have helped your representative kickstart their business. And we're going to add throughout some of the meetings that we'll add throughout these 13 weeks. We'll give you other ideas to add to those pages as well. Now the next one, you can have that as our team page, but a lot of people say, I want to create an event just like, maybe it's a fundraiser or whatever that will be. Sometimes they're very intimidated about doing that. So this could be a way they could do their grand opening too. So what they would do is go to you'll see here, they would go to their team, their Facebook, the home page. They would click the more, And on that, they would say create an event. And here they could just create, they could use what they have, pick a theme, add the name of it, say, what if it's going to be, a fundraiser, whatever you want it to call, a Kickstarter, a makeup party, whatever, lipsticks and lattes, create whatever the name they want it to be. The location, you don't have to put anything there because it's going to probably be online. But if they were going to do a grand opening at a coffee shop, they would put that here. So they would say, this is the name of the location. I'm going to be at, Panera Bread from this time to this time. And then they would put what it's all about and create the event. It's going to give them a link that they can send people to. But play with these and play with your representatives, and when you're talking, those of you who are having the one-on-one calls, you could say, like, Barbara, what is it you want to do with your business? If Barbara says, hey, I want to have some live events, say, let's get them started right now and walk them through these processes. These are some of the one-on-one things that you can talk to your representatives. Play with it first if you don't know how to do it. It's really simple so that you feel comfortable. And you know what? It's okay if you're not that comfortable and you're trying to help a person. Say, hey, let's figure it out. If you can't, pick up the phone and one of your district managers or leaders will help you.
Okay. Sorry about that. As we're finishing up today, everybody has to be good at one of two things: planting seeds in the spring or begging in the fall. And that's a quote by Jim Rohn. And what we're trying to do with the 13 weeks of success here is we want to help you plant really good seeds for your future. And it happens every day. And the more you do and the more you work with your business, the more successful you will be. And you just want to have fun with it. Let your team have fun with it. Always be creative, but plant lots of seeds. Plan yourself a good harvest, and you're going to enjoy it. We're going to be here with you again next week. We're going to add more seeds for you to use and plant in your garden. And we look forward to helping you as we close those 13 weeks to seeing what you're harvesting. Okay? Remember, add that fourth person this week. That's going to build your harvest. Have a great day.
Thanks, guys. I'm going to end the recording, and then I will leave it to our leaders who would like to talk or share, have questions. And don't forget, these will be posted. So if you go and view, we'll also get a little letter out that says these are 1, 2, 3, especially at the end or maybe midway. But if you go through our group page, you can see, and that is our executive page, you can find these PowerPoints and these recordings. So if you're just joining us, go back and watch 1, 2, and 3 and take the PowerPoints and change them to fit your business. Thank you, guys, and I'm so proud of you for committing to your business.